Like if you asked me even a year ago, 2 years ago, I would have said like there's no chance you'll ever catch me in the construction industry, on a building site, manufacturing anything. But like you need to learn about it to know that it's nothing like what you think it is. I absolutely love it and I'm really surprised with how much I do. I live in the middle of nowhere. If you can picture it, just all green and bog and forestry. I live in a little pocket of that, and then if you look out the front window of the house, it's all just mountains, fields, cows, bales, the whole lot. Whatever I got out of the day was whatever I got out of the day. Like if I put in more effort in school, I probably would have done better, but I decided that I wanted to go out to America and play rugby. That was a 6-year decision, so went out to St. Louis in Missouri on a little scholarship. Had a life-changing experience out there and absolutely loved it. We went on to win the D1 Elite National Championship, so got a big state championship ring for that, which is something I'll always hold on to. I've always wanted to do something like hands-on and kind of active, but construction or manufacturing never really crossed my mind. I'm a quality assurance technician, and within every process there's critical things that you have to check. So I'll come around, do my visual inspection, and then I'll come around and just make sure everything is okay, make sure everything is going out is 100% quality controlled, quality assured. Going through training courses and stuff now, and I'm trying to start working my way up through the ranks and really just getting more and more knowledge. And so I'm really excited to see what the future holds in that regard. In my previous job, I'd come home after a day's work and I'd be whinging, to be honest. I'd be giving out about what I was doing. I come home from work now and I want to go back in straight away. Like I'll not shut up to mum ranting about how good of a day I'd have. Like every day is different than the day before. Like it's every single day you're learning something new, you're finding something new out, you're seeing a new problem that hasn't came up before and you're solving it with your team. Like it's something I never thought I would be doing, but I'm so glad that I am. Like I went in and I was petrified. I was like, these are all going to hate me. I was just a 19-year-old girl going into this industry completely clueless. Like they're going to be like, what is she doing here? It wasn't the case at all. Like everyone made me feel welcome straight away. The team, the production team that I'm a part of, really like settled my nerves as soon as I started and became a family like really, really quickly and welcomed me with open arms. A woman coming into such a male-dominated industry, like it's always going to be scary, and it's my job to stop them if they're doing something that's of a poor quality, or if they're doing something that's wrong. So put any bit of fear behind you for the first while, and then just be yourself and you'll get settled in. I have a really strong relationship with all of my co-workers on the floor. They don't treat me any differently just because I'm a woman. Mum and Dad were telling me like if it's construction, like your hours aren't going to be 8 to 5, Giselle. Like they're just saying that to get you in the door, but no, it's since August it's been 8 to 5 Monday to Thursday, 7 to 4 on a Friday. Everyone is the same hours, so you have the whole rest of your evening to do whatever you want. You have your weekends off. Like I still have really, really good social life and just spending time with my friends, whether or not that's at rugby training or in the pub or going for a walk with them. Usually we'll have rugby training 3-4 times a week, and at least one of them days in the week we'll go to the local pub for a couple of pints afterwards. Playing with Connacht has been a dream come true as well, kind of, because when I started at the age of 13 or 14, I was like, okay, the goal is we'll get on a Connacht jersey someday, we'll get on a Connacht team. And when you do, like, they're not like, okay, you've got your Connacht cap, like, fair play to you. They're like, okay, Giselle, keep pushing, we want you to get to the next step, we want you to get that international cap. If I look back at a year ago today, I was going around America doing a psychology degree, which I didn't actually want to do. and I didn't know what I was going to get out of it, whereas now I'm absolutely loving what I'm currently doing, and I know what I'm going to be doing for the next however many years. Like, I know my career goals and everything like that. I know it's like probably a really simple thing to say, but like, just don't worry. Like, don't have any care in the world about what people are going to think. Don't write anything off. Them preconceptions, that's all they are. Like, they don't actually have any standing to you. Once you get in and get involved, like, you'll be completely fine.
I kind of take the view that I should just jump into something and see how it goes. So I spent a lot of my life not doing things because my head was telling me don't do it, because I was getting stressed or anxious about it. So nowadays I just kind of go for it. If you added up how long I was in school for, I'd say it doesn't even hit 30 days. Like, it was second year when I left. I suppose when I was a younger teenager, I was struggling a lot with anxiety, depression, things like that. Was very kind of reserved, didn't really have very many friends. I was in my own little bubble. Then slowly started to come out of my shell. You know, I came out as gay and kind of started to explore that a bit more, and I had to do my junior cert anyway. We got our junior cert done. Then I went to Youth Train, which is kind of the training parallel of Youth Reach. So I did a construction course there. Really loved that. Then after that, it was a PLC. So I used the level 4 I got from Youth Train to do the PLC. That was in Enniscorthy, and that was a great experience. Made some really close friends. And then I decided to go to Waterford. Yeah, day one, it was kind of thrown in at the deep end, get going on stuff, really start working. It was really good. Like, I'm in SETU doing architectural BIM technology. There's just so much you can do with an architectural BIM technology degree. You can go into project management, you can go into engineering, you can go into architecture. You know, years ago, architectural technology and architecture was hand-drawn or CAD, whereas with BIM, building informational modeling, it allows you to kind of get data into the model. So the whole point is to kind of streamline the process of construction. The architect designs, comes up with your concepts, everything like that, whereas the technologist actually draws it. So I draw it up and, you know, get it for planning, and eventually, when it comes to construction, I draw up the construction drawings that the builder would use. And then it's kind of our role with the architect to kind of be the point men on site to, you know, make sure it's actually being built the way it should be. I think it's great, you know, I can work anywhere in the world, anywhere I want. I can specialize in pretty much anything I want. And it's just, the world is open, and with the way technology is advancing with AI and virtual reality and all this, you know, it just gets better and better every day. There's innovations in BIM and architecture. You'll never be bored, and you'll never stop learning as well. It never really feels like work, you know, because you're doing something you love. I know that's such a cliche thing that, you know, if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. But it is true when it comes to this. It's really, really nice to be able to see something that you drew being actually built. And it's just kind of mad to think to yourself, I'm standing in something I designed. It's a really nice thing that you kind of know you'll be immortalized in a way with this career. This career path, especially when it comes to BIM, you know, it's a really solid career to be getting into, because the industry is just starting off. So it's definitely the future, and I think anyone interested in going into this career will have a long, prosperous career out of it. Because I think a lot of people, when they think architecture, they think creativity, they think art, they think having to be able to design. You know, I couldn't draw to save my life, but with technology, that doesn't matter. So World Skills is the biggest thing no one's ever heard of. It's a massive skills competition. I ended up qualifying, which was a bit of a shock. So then went on to the Irish National Competition, which was held in the RDS last September. Ended up winning, and then that led me to now getting ready to go off to Lyon in September to compete for Ireland. There's such a big thing in this country where, you know, you're 17, finish your leaving cert, apply for CEO, pick what you want to do for the rest of your life, go on now. And a lot of people struggle because it's such a night and day difference. You know, in school you're a child, you know, the teachers, you know, are the boss of you. You know, there's no messing, whereas when you go into something a bit more structured like adult education, you know, they're a peer, you're respected, you're there for a reason. When I decided, no, I'm leaving school, I was told, well, this is it now, you're done. You know, you're going to be on the dole for the rest of your life, you're going to get nowhere. You know, sometimes I do kind of stop and think to myself, you know, the chap that dropped out of school, shaking hands with Simon Harris, So it is mental sometimes just sit back and think, God, I was nowhere 10 years ago and now look at me.
I have no idea where it's going to take me, but I definitely do enjoy what I'm doing currently. I am an apprentice electrician. I'm in my phase 2. Day to day, you get to learn a bit of everything. You're learning metalwork, you're learning mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. You're really a jack of all trades. You get to work alongside engineers, you get to look at drawings, you get to learn about the health and safety aspect of the construction industry. You get to work at really high heights if you're into that. I love being up on a mute. I really enjoy electronics, I enjoy engineering, I enjoy the theory of electricity and how it works and how it's running the whole world, more or less. I feel like when you start an apprenticeship, you kind of just think you're wiring up houses, and that's what I thought I was going to be doing when it's... I'm not even touching a house. Growing up, I was definitely more of a tomboy, I suppose. My dad would have me on the farm on the weekends and he'd be passing me spanners, I'd be fixing tractors or a combine, I could be up in the quads down fields. So I was really a hands-on young person. I definitely didn't play with Barbie dolls. On Christmas morning, my brother would get the tractors and the army things and I'd be more interested in that. I was a bit of a messer, but not the loud messer causing trouble, but I wasn't the most prim and proper person ever. And I wasn't interested in school really because I had a part-time job, so I was just more interested in making money. When I was in TY, the idea was proposed to me to go and do an apprenticeship because I wasn't so academically gifted and I wasn't that interested. So when it was proposed to me by a teacher, I just kind of said oh, well, do you know any girls who are in the trade? And they said no, and I was oh, well, maybe I shouldn't be there. And now looking back on what I thought when I was in TY in 6th year, I actually really regret not taking that opportunity, but I'm glad now that I'm doing it now. But I definitely wish I did it sooner. I feel like I can be myself in work because it is that little bit more informal of a job. There is formalities as a structure. You're working with your friends, so I feel like you can definitely be yourself. That's what I absolutely love as well, working on a site. I can go in, look rough if I want to, or I can doll up, it doesn't really matter. But there's no formalities, everyone's just there to get on with the day, have the crack and have a great time at work. That's actually what we do, and the people that I work with, we'd all be really close. The gender doesn't necessarily matter, but it matters that when I thought about when I was in TY and the idea was offered to me and then I asked, where's the other women? There was none. Looking back at that time, I wish that there was someone that I could just be oh yeah, no, I know this girl. She's an electrician and she's doing fine. I just think there needs to be more representation and awareness. I walked into the building site and when I shook your man's hand, he took me up the stairs to the floor and give me a uniform, I was just oh my God, I'm actually doing this. It was just scary walking onto a site. But then people started talking to me and I didn't feel like my gender was a part of it. It wasn't to do with being a woman. There is procedures put in place to integrate women within the construction industry. My work-life balance is pretty nice, to be honest. I have a lot of time to just be swimming, hiking, meeting friends. I love to go out and I love to socialise and stuff. I think I've definitely surprised myself. I think 17-year-old me would be what the hell are you doing? Not even just being working in a construction site, but just being an electrician. I think that if you're thinking about going into an apprenticeship and there's something niggling at your head and you're saying, I don't know if I should do it, ask yourself, why is it that you think that you can't do it? Is it because of pressures around you? Is it because of your parents don't want you to work as an electrician? Think of how you would feel if you didn't, because I know how I felt when I didn't go for it straight out of school. Now, obviously, my life led me to where I am and I'm grateful, but I think I wish I started it way earlier. And I think don't let anyone else's opinion form what you want to do with your life. It doesn't matter if your friends don't even think it's cool, just go for it. Because it's you at the end of the day and it's your future, and it's a pretty great future, so.